The winner goes to the semifinals in 3-2-1 Tetris. On the left side, we've got iBall, who defeated Critical Lapis in the round of 16 to get here to this top 8. iBall, the number 4 seed in this tournament, qualified in with 1.23 million. iBall, a known Canadian. So if you're making lists of Canadians, there's one to add to your list. iBall ranked number 6th in the premier poll, the one heading into this July tournament. Rated 6th in the open poll. You can find the full results over at premierpoll.com. It is actually currently July, but when this tournament started, it was number 6, and I'm not going back and changing all that stuff, so number 6 will have to do. iBall has played in the Masters event a bunch of times, finished in second place for the first time, got as far as second place for the first time in May of this year, has also finished in the semis a couple times. He's played 3 times in Mega Masters, winner of a Challenger circuit and a Future circuit. 3-time CTWC Gold Bracket player, finished in the top 4 this year, made it to the semis. Also the winner of the Montreal Regional, the runner-up in the Montreal Regional last year, also played just this past weekend, I think, in the WPL Ohio, Columbus, whatever it is, Regional. iBall, known maybe most famously as a Super Mario Brothers speedrunner, and has the second highest time, the best time, second best time, let's say, in SMB lost levels, any percent, behind, of course, Nifsky, who is, of course, one of the greats. So, iBall, almost one of the greats. 210 for iBall, 209 for Koster. On the right side of your screen, Koster, who defeated Eric ICX in the top 16 to get here to the top 8. That seemed like a century ago when that actually happened. 283 for Koster, 301 for iBall. Koster qualified in with a 1.23 million. Has a tap PB of 1.37 million. He's played in the monthly Masters event 2 times in the past and went out to dog playing Tetris both times, as one does. Also played in Mega Masters twice. That was in 2023 and 2024. Won a Challenger circuit back in November of 2022. 3-time CTWC Gold Bracket player 2022 through 24. Also played in the WPL Regional, but in 2023 and 2024. Don't know if he was there this year, but I didn't see it. 394 iBall, 379 Koster. All right, long bars over. Tetris is 440 iBall, 425 Koster. The winner of this will move into the semifinals of this event in virtue of getting into the top 8, and in virtue of our meeting our prize pool contribution goals. Both of them are in the money. Ravioli says, "Yo, Vandy, I just got my first ever kill screen. Congratulations, Ravioli." It's a big accomplishment. For real, so GG's. 473 Koster, 508 for iBall. Tetris Koster. And the winner of this match, as I said, goes to the semis and will face Alex T in the semis, which would scare me, but probably doesn't scare these guys. I mean, they're, real competitors here. 577 for iBall. 524 Koster. Shinobi says, Ohio sounds skibbity. I don't know what you mean by that. What does that mean? 602 iBall. 554 Koster. Tetris for iBall, but he's got a hole in the stack left side. What's he going to do? Yeah, he's just going to clear it all away. Long bar. Oh, covers. Probably didn't need to cover, but it's much easier to play when you can watch and don't actually have to do the things. You can just like look at what people are doing and say, I should have done that. You know? 655 for iBall into 19. And he's just resting pieces there over to the left side. 632 for Koster. He's on level 20. When is the match with Dog playing Tetris? It is going to be after this one. And L is also in it, who you may know as Trap Zone. $710 Koster, $759 iBall, level 21. So probably not going to be much of a break in between these two because of all the technical issues that somebody caused. And by somebody, of course, I mean the radical left, right? iBall. There you go. 874 for iBall. 826 for Koster. Tetris iBall 934, 858 Koster. Koster going to get a long bar over to the left side. That's going to be a triple. Uncovers. Long bar to the right. Tetris. Koster 899. Oh, Watermelon Cowboy. Maybe. If I did, I would not. I would not. Nobody in Tetris would know about it. It's not worth it. Oh, left side for iBall is a problem. He's got to max out, and that is going to be it. And Koster is good in game number 2. Or game number 1. Game number 1, not game number 2. Game number 1. What am I thinking? We've already played a million games, so I feel like it's like I don't even know what game it is anymore. Game number 1. So Koster, you are good. You can mullen it out, no problem. Go ahead, do it. Mullen it out. Wow. 1.2. Level 30. Oh my God. If this had happened in 2018, Koster, you'd be a total god, but it's 2025, so everybody doesn't know. Great game for Koster, 1.2. iBall looking to tie it up. I should try to roll with this thing. It is kind of satisfying to roll with this. You hear me rolling? It's not bad. Oh, I might be able to do that. Holy moly. Guys, I might have to take up rolling. What the heck? All right. Koster with a couple Tetrises. iBall going to get his first. CTWC wouldn't let me play. I know. For real. Vandy can roll? I mean, no. Like, I can do the thing where you go brr, brr on the back, but in terms of like playing Tetris with like thumb on the D-pad and the same hand controlling the rotation, it's like impossible. It's not impossible, but it's just so much practice. And I don't, you know, if I'm going to get my max out, I'm going to get it the old fashioned way. You know, spending 10 years to get it. Rolling easier on the heavy controller, though. What I think in some aspects it is, because it falls back to its original position easier. It's like more stable, but anchoring, I bet it would be a lot harder on your fingers. That would be my guess. I don't know. Let me see. Is it hard? I'm doing it right now. 190 here for Koster, 152 for iBall. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't seem that's like it's that much heavier. I don't know. I just can't play. I just don't know how you're supposed to play like and like control your rotation. It just doesn't make sense, guys. 221 for iBall, 258 Koster. Another Tetris, Koster, iBall. Kind of a jaggedy board. Oh, iBall setting up the Vits. Fills in the Vits with the bar. Needs one more bar for the Tetris. He's waiting, building, hoping. Oh. This is tough. Getting droughted right. Kind of at the wrong time. Gets that J to the left. Opens up again. All right, taking the double and the Tetris. iBall back down to safety. Koster gets one over as well. 332. Koster, 318. iBall. Koster gets another one. So when the lines are tied, Koster ahead by 36,000. Tetris and a half. Yeah, somebody who's good at rolling needs to test this out. Like maybe tape some heavy washers to their controller or like some fishing weights or something. And like see if weight will help. Imagine heading to CTWC with like they start weighing controllers. I think that's what we did to cheat in the Pinewood Derby. Boy Scouts. I don't know if it was cheating or not, but Tetris for Koster, 470, 414 for iBall. But there's probably something there, something to do with how the weight is distributed in the controller. You did win the Pinewood Derby, Tetris did. I did too. I won the Pinewood Derby. I could mail it to a roller for a bit. Maybe. I want to play with it though. I don't want to. Oh, iBall. Look at that with the pullback and the tuck setup. Nice. 492 iBall. 566 Koster. But controller-wise, I think we should, embrace some innovations and experimentations as long as you're within basically the same form factor. Maybe within, 7 to 10% or whatever of the same dimensions. And, different materials, different weights, different button types. That should all be allowed. 598 for iBall, 619 for Koster. You should cork your controller. I mean, if you want there long term to be like a competitive NES Tetris scene, then you got to make it possible for there to be like an economy in it, and therefore you need like equipment, you need new equipment, you need manufacturers of equipment, find ways to innovate. If you're just gonna like ban all that stuff just because, you know, whatever, Hyperkin, that doesn't make sense to me. That's not in the long-term interest of Tetris scene, in my opinion, for whatever my opinion is worth. 667 iBall, 730 for Koster. Like, imagine if baseball, you know, baseball existed, there was only one bat. You know? 755 iBall, 775 for Koster. Oh, there's only one glove you can get, guys. That's it. Only one baseball glove. It's the only one. All right, nice little setup for a T-spin. Koster gets it, 807. There's the Tetris Koster, 838. 845, iBall now in the lead. Now, yeah, iBall with that real-time score lead, but Koster, now when the lines are tied, Koster is ahead. So yeah, right now when the lines are tied, if they keep up with each other Tetris-wise, Koster is ahead. Koster with the first one to max, A03. iBall gets one, A14. All right, nice burn there for Koster. iBall's board getting tough here. Koster at A42, A28 for iBall. Long bar over Tetris iBall. He's going to get set up again and get another one. A99. iBall into 29, B04. Koster Tetris is A87. He's going to try to set up for another one before he hits 29 and gets it. B24. Koster in the lead into 29. iBall still fighting. Koster spiring, still has the lead by like 13,000, 14,000. Can iBall eke out anything? Koster tops out a B36 and iBall, no, is going to top out a B25. So players were just kind of getting any last points they could post 29, really singling really the entire time. And it just wasn't enough on iBall's side, and just really bad boards. And all they could do is just try to, you know, eke out single after single. Koster does enough to stay ahead and go up 2-0 over iBall. Let's get started. Game number 3. Koster up 2-0. It's a tie. We'll call it a tie. Threes Twos says, I remove one screw from my controller. Oh my God, you are so banned at CTWC. They are going to check for all screws must be in place. All right, both players starting off not ideal, but iBall at least keeping his right side open most of the time here. Oh, that overshift of the Z. Okay, but iBall still alive, still fighting the stack down. Koster now back down to a safe height. And no one is Tetrised yet. Koster is set up. iBall uncovering the right side now. Low enough board. iBall will get the first Tetris. He's like way ahead in lines early on. And Koster gets one too. 46,000 Koster, 47 iBall. I got to say, I'm really enjoying Tap Masters. You get to see kind of players both players with whom you're already familiar, but in a new light, under a certain new kind of paradigm, and then players who maybe you don't get to see as much have the opportunity to show off what they can do with their best play style when, the playing field is leveled. So, got to admit, I'm really liking it. 119 for iBall, 161 for Koster. Mr. Burrow says your controller must heed the spirit of NES controller. There, I solved the rule. Well, that can be our rule. All right, I'm gonna make a spirit of NES controller. That's our rule, but that's not everybody else's rule. And the problem is, big live championship. If they, a lot of times their rule is gonna kind of swamp the other rules because you don't want to get used to playing with a controller that isn't legal in one of the biggest tournaments, That's tough. 215 for iBall, 208 for Koster. Is keyboard spirit of NES controller? Keyboard is spirit of inclusion. Because we want people to, above all, to play NES Tetris. And if that's all they can use, or if that works for them, then let's get them playing, right? And I think maybe, there's a great video, by the way, on keyboard, not in NES, but in Super Mario speedrunning. Somebody made a video about whether keyboard confers an advantage. And it makes some great points that I think are relevant to the NES Tetris crowd, and I recommend looking it up. And it was made by iBall. So go on YouTube. Yeah, look up iBall keyboard, IBALL keyboard, SMB, and you might find it. Watermelon Cowboy says, LOL, CTWC will ban keyboard because it's DEI. Keyboard is DEI. Oh no. We're gonna get oh no. 381 for iBall, 439 for Koster. Steele says, not the woke keyboard mob. Oh my goodness. The world is a funny place. 427 for iBall, 485 for Koster. I gotta hold it together because it's really funny. I am. What's up, Kingsman? I almost called you Keyboard. What's up, Keyboard 36? How's it going, King? Tetris for iBall, 485.19 for Koster. So iBall into 19 at 504. Koster. All right, getting some pieces here. I'm just going to take the skim. Set up kind of high here, though. Could really use a bar, and gets one over. Koster 569 and another one 595. Black Tooth says, Kingsman 36, is that you? I remember you from the chat rooms. Uh-oh. Kingsman, what chat rooms were you in? 635 iBall, 677 for Koster. No, I believe you, Black Tooth. Don't try to backpedal. All right, iBall needs to uncover, and man, no great place for a square there. Creates another hole. Long bar over Tetris iBall. He's going to bring the stack down. 668, 713 for Koster. The Ocarina of Time chat rooms. All right. I believe you. I don't believe you, but 770 Koster. He's ahead by almost 100,000 points. Line's pretty close. Koster, good board. Remember, the winner of this goes to the semifinals. So those are really the two players, in the semifinals right now, you're playing to play either against Alex T or Joseph Saley, which is totally crazy either way. Tetris for iBall starting to spire a little bit. Oh man, he's gonna have to make other plans for the next S piece. Okay, that bar is going to help a lot for iBall. 740. Koster, though, at 905. Over 160,000 points ahead with 25 lines to go until 29. Max out for Koster. He's on 27. 847 for iBall. He's on 28. And he is about 190,000 points behind. So whatever happens here, it's going to have to happen on 29 if iBall wants a shot. Tetris for iBall. He's into 29 at 921. Koster with the 1.1. Still on 28. iBall just needs to stay alive and keep adding points. Whatever he does. And kind of all in on a bar here. The bar is not coming. And that is going to be a top out for iBall. And Koster is good and is going to take this one in a sweep. And Koster is your blue and purple bracket winner and will be moving on to the semifinals. Let us go ahead and give me one moment here. Let me go ahead and report this. We'll show you the bracket. Congratulations, Koster. You did amazing. iBall, you did great. You played well. You played your heart out, but it was not enough. Koster just, coming out of, a tap tournament? Yep, I'll play. And then, boom, in the semifinals. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. Join our Discord server, the largest Classic Tetris community online at ctm.gg/discord, and follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.